Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about advanced imaging for perianal fistulas. More specifically, 3D imaging and 3D printing. Each and every one of you is aware that basically each fistula can be treated by simple fistulotomy. For intrasphincteric fistulas, this yields high healing rates with an acceptable continence impairment. However, for transsphincteric fistulas, continence impairment will not always be acceptable. Preoperative imaging of perianal fistulas will allow us to select patients that can safely undergo fistulotomy from those who can't. Even though many surgeons prefer endoanal sonography, MRI has been shown to be superior for many reasons. Interestingly, in a recent Twitter poll, about 2/3 of all surgeons stated they only use imaging in selected cases. When asked why not all patients underwent preoperative imaging, most surgeons identified cost as the main reason. Also, many surgeons think that perioperative assessment of the fistula is better, and about 13% of surgeons think that interpretation of MRI is too difficult. It is important to realize that in the Netherlands, cost of an examination under anesthesia is about 6 times the cost of performing an MRI. Moreover, this examination will often not lead to definitive treatment of the fistula. Notwithstanding the proper selection of patients, the therapeutic impact for primary fistulas has been shown to be about 10%. Moreover, it has been shown that surgeons that ignore MRI during reoperative surgery for perianal fistula will have 5 times the amount of failures of their operations than surgeons who do not ignore it. Therefore, many surgeons find preoperative MRI imaging extremely important. This, however, does not mitigate the fact that interpretation of MRI images can be difficult. Especially the selection of patients that can or cannot undergo fistulotomy seems to be very difficult for inexperienced surgeons and radiologists alike. In an attempt to make this assessment easy for everyone, we implemented the use of 3D imaging and 3D printing in our clinic.
When a patient with a perianal fistula visits the outpatient clinic, the most important thing to know is what type of fistula they suffer from. When you know this, you can start the right treatment. In this video, we show you how we do it. First of all, you need to do an MRI, which has to be uploaded in Philips Intelligence portal. The MRI is opened and the anal sphincter and fistula are evaluated by our colorectal surgeon. Identify the levator ani and the musculus puborectalis. In contrast to 3D imaging in trauma surgery, the threshold levels of soft tissue are closely related. Therefore, the field of interest has to be selected manually. The magic brush is used for this. Here we select the anal sphincter complex. On the right side of the screen, you can see the formation of the sphincter complex in different directions. This is saved as STL data. Afterwards, the same is done for the fistula. When selecting the right settings, the first digital 3D model can be created with the Philips Intelligence portal. The STL data are saved and sent to our technical student from the ETZ 3D lab. He starts to process the STL data by smoothing the sphincter and fistula. This is done so the printer does not have to print so many details which are not of clinical relevance. The printing colors are selected and the sphincter and fistula are combined. The model is rotated and support material is printed. Now the real printing process can start with our Ultimaker 3.0. The approximate time of editing the MRI by our colorectal surgeon takes around 8 minutes, editing the data by our technical student around 5 minutes, and printing the fistula itself around 4.5 hours. First of all, we use it for our pre-operative planning, as you can see here. In the outpatient clinic, the 3D print will support the patient education. And third of all, we use it for training our surgical residents. But do we really need a printed version, or is a digital 3D model just as good?
When measuring the interpretation time of an MRI, answering standardized questions, we noticed large differences between different levels of training. Interestingly, the time it took to interpret the MRI and answer the standardized questions was lowered for all groups of training. However, accuracy was not. As of yet, we're not sure whether 3D printing is a gimmick or a game changer. Whereas we think that the 3D imaging of perianal fistulas will enhance our understanding of the disease, it is unclear whether actual 3D printing will add to this. This is an avenue of further research. It is noteworthy to add that the pictures you are seeing right now can be made by software that is available in your hospital at this very moment, at no extra cost, and it will take about 8 minutes of your time to create them. Please realize that these images will be a representation of your interpretation of MRI images, not an objective representation such as is used in traumatology for the imaging of bony structures. In conclusion, the creation of 3D models is an easy process for which resources are available in most hospitals. In addition, 3D printing can be very cheap. The exact role of both modeling and 3D printing needs to be investigated. Thank you very much for your attention.